Hey everyone, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do another book journal for this year, 2022, and I'm so happy that you guys enjoyed the video from last week. I am going to do a few more pages in this journal. I just counted how many dots I had to go down to make my first shelf, because if you remember in my first video, I said I wasn't going to have enough books in case I had a really great reading year like I did last year. 2021, I read 112 books. So I knew I was going to need another page of books. So that's what I'm doing here, creating the same type of thing where I just stamp the big book stack from the Studio Calico stamp set. That stamp set is so popular and sells out every time they bring it back. So if it comes back in stock, grab it if you want it, because it's just the best and you don't have to hand draw any of your books, which is something that I really enjoy. I did goof on a set of stamped books at the bottom, but I noticed that using my Papermate Flare pen worked really well to kind of fill in where I missed. And I did smudge some books down at the bottom too, but oh well. Moving forward. I made another 2 planters. I used some paper, my paper scraps, to make a very skinny one down at the bottom and then a wider one up at the top, just like I did on the previous pages. I am also going to add in the flowers and the leaves and then a stamped sentiment as well. Since I did not plan on having a third page for a shelf, I am not going to use a sticker title. I mentioned in my other video that I have a bunch of sticker titles, but for this one, I am not using a sticker title, and that's okay. I'm going to stamp just a little phrase. So I'm stamping my leaves, and then I'll add the outline, and then down at the bottom, I will stamp some more little flowers, the orange ones, and then I will get my 2 pieces of paper to help me stamp one more, and I repeat the more, that way it looks like it's just continuing down. I really love that, and I love the trick of just using scrap paper to help out. I'm going to just use the page on the right to put some sort of journaling card. I didn't want to add anything else, and I am trying to use up all my hoarded book supplies from Feed Your Craft, and so adding a card on the right hand side will be perfect, and it will help to stop hoarding everything. The stamp I put up at the top is on my shelf, and I decided to go with this black card that says, "Books are a uniquely portable magic." Perfect card to add. And then I just stamped just one more chapter 3 times down below and call it done. All right, gonna move on to monthly faves. This one, oh my goodness, I was so excited to do this page. It was quite a labor of love, but I am going to make it happen. So in October daily, I made a framed book holder. I'll leave a link up in the eye, but basically I took some stamps and made book frames for my books because I didn't have this stamp set at the time. I finally got this stamp set and knew that it would be really fun to make a gallery wall using these frames to kind of frame in the different books for all 12 of the months. So that is what I just stamped. I stamped, I think, 3 or 4 of the different frames, cut them all out off camera, and now I am going to use my X-Acto knife to kind of make a split in the middle. That way I can cut out the inner part. I'm going to save the inner part in case I want to use that to measure my book cover, but if not, I can just measure the inside of the frame once it's all glued down, and then I can put in my favorite book for that month. So it's coming along really well, and I'm going to have a mix of different frames. Like I said, they are just looking so good. Again, off camera, cut everything out. Didn't think that anyone would find that interesting. So I did it off camera, and now I'm going to go ahead and lay out all the frames. I will say that I did not notice that I had 5 on the left until I got to stamping the calendar months. Whoops. I don't know how I didn't realize that. I did realize as I was making this, like, why is there a gap down at the bottom? But it never occurred to me, oops, I have 11 instead of 12. So I put monthly faves title up at the top, and I start off by using some temporary adhesive, and then figure, you know what, I'm just going to use the regular adhesive, and then I can just, like I said, measure the inside of the frame to fit in the book cover, or save the cut out inside portion. So either way, I will figure out how to get a book cover in here. The stamp set does come with like a triangle portion to make it look more like a gallery wall. I'm going to add that in a little bit. I do have to adjust some of the frames. That way I can make sure that I have enough room for the hanging portion. But I'm obsessed with this. It turned out so good. I love when you have ideas, you think about it, and you get the right supply and you're able to bring it to life. Now, this stamp set does not have, like, say, a nail stud, and that's what I thought was missing. So I'm going to go ahead and get one from Everyday Explorers. I found a solid circle and then an outline circle, and I'm going to use that. Okay, so this is where I started stamping the calendar months using an Everyday Explorer stamp set, and quickly realized that, wait a second, I need a month down on the left side. So I do this trick digitally all the time where I cut something in half and then I layer it on top to kind of shrink the size, if that makes sense. This frame was a little bit longer, but since I cut it in half, I was able to shrink it and make it a little bit smaller. That way it could sit right where I needed it to sit and also still have room for the hanging portion. So it worked out really well, and you can't even tell that it was meant to be longer. It's a little crooked, but you know what? Oh well, that's okay. Maybe somebody bumped the gallery wall. Finishing up with the rest of the stamped months, and this is where I will add in the quote-unquote nail, and I do a full solid circle, and then I do like an outline with another color. Stamped color. Well, I think it was the same, but either way, I stamp that, and I just love this. It turned out so good, and I just love my little gallery wall, and it's something different to have in my book journal to document the monthly favorites that I have, and I'm just, I love it. All right, doing Goodreads challenge. This one I did last year, and I did square boxes on one side, and that was it. This year, I know I want to do something different, but I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I start off by stamping this circle from an Everyday Explorer stamp set, and then I quickly realized that is really huge, and that's not going to work for 100 books. So I'm going to go ahead and use those circles, repurpose them as like a monthly counter. So I will add in January through December. I wind up stamping 13. Again, I'm not counting, I'm just stamping away, and then I have to fix it. And I just fix it by finding something that works perfect. It says project finished 100%. So I'll just add that, and then it'll work great, like I said, to put in the total number of books that I have read for the different months. For the right side, I used this stamp with 8 little square boxes, and I will just stamp that repeatedly to get all the way to 100. I think I wound up adding in more than 100, or just leaving a little bit of room in case I need to add some more books. And then I'll stamp currently reading and add in a little bit of color with a Feed Your Craft die cut. I pick Read More Books. And I will add in some stamping on both sides of the die cut in some pink color, and it's an Everyday Explorers like mixed media stamp. It has a bunch of stars on it, and it's just, I just love it. I'm obsessed with this stamp set. I love all the ones that Felicitas designs for Christine. Adding a few more of the little clusters of star stamps that I'm adding in the months, and that is it. So that is 3 more pages for this journal, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'd love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you're new to my channel. Thanks so much, and have a great day. Bye.